Hello, everybody. My name's Joshy. That's Tom. Welcome back to In Our Humble Opinion. Holy crap, my thingy. There we go. Fixed it. Yay. Okay. Anyway, what's up, guys? We're gonna talk about the divisional playoffs round. We're gonna start, I guess, in order. I guess we'll do order. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Do it.
There's snow down there. It's crazy. In New Orleans, which is wild. I mean, let's be real. Last year there was a 80-degree day in frickin' January up here where I'm at, where I will not disclose. I'm kidding. It's Maryland.
I got you.
Oh, I wonder how'd you figure that out, everybody? What's his favorite team again? Oh yeah, big
His
shot.
favorite. Not the Ravens.
Hey, right. The Commander. Let me stop.
Yeah, he said
Full flip.
that's that team.
Full flip. Let me stop. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs won 23-14. Tom, you want to go? I'll let you start.
Dude, I mean, Houston was battling injuries. They fought, man.
Yeah.
Dude, all right. I just want to get into, and this is a sad take from this game. I hope a Bills player next week pops Mahomes really hard. If he wants to dance around and be a clown, and the refs are, you know what, take the 15 yards, man. You got to just nail that guy. And you know what? I'm sure your owner will take care of your fine. Like, that was an embarrassing display by him. And honestly, it's kind of like this, like, it actually hurts the league. It makes the league look like the NBA. And that's not what the NFL's going for.
No.
So I'm honestly, like, I hope Kansas City loses this week. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of it. If that's what the clown show is going to be, I'm done, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's really frustrating. Because even for Houston's sake, too, like, dude, how do you coach a defense against that? To me, the only way to do it is you gotta get Greg Williams in there and do a bounty gate.
Yeah, true.
Seriously, like, that's what they, and that's honestly what's gonna happen. And then someone's going to seriously hurt him. So, it's just, I guess it's a different era, but, you watch the other games, none of those quarterbacks are getting that treatment. So,
No.
league better start figuring that out, man. The Chiefs should not, like, home field advantage doesn't mean that you get these ridiculous, stupid, bogus calls. So, that's just where I'm going to leave it off at that. I mean, I'm not shocked Houston lost.
No, me either.
They battled, man.
They have so many injuries.
They're injury-riddled. Stroud, just year two was tough, man. I think he battled. He's going to be good. He just, that team, they need to add some more pieces for him to be really successful.
Yeah. I think I ditto your what you said. I think Houston played. I think the stuff when the fans of their team, no rational people were thinking this, but I saw a couple people like the fans. D'Amico Ryans is really good. Like Tom said, a lot of injuries. They won a playoff game. They battled in this game. I loved how you had the defense come out playing, really flying around, hitting people. Like Tom said, this is getting ridiculous though with Mahomes. Like someone's going to do that, hit him hard and knock him out the game because he's dancing around. He's not trying to slide. He's flopping out of bounds. Like that's ridiculous. I don't care how much you like him. Okay, I think he's a great player, but that's ridiculous. That's why people are trying to put Josh and Lamar above him because A, they played better this year by a lot, and B, they don't flop. They run. They get hit. It's like Tom said, this ain't basketball, bro. You gotta.
What he did, not even the flop on the sideline.
It's the slide.
The slide one. He dances around. You know why he does that?
So they don't know he's going to slide.
Fear.
Yeah.
He has no fear.
Well, Tommy also.
Other quarterback in the NFL slides there right away because they're terrified that, hey, I'm going to get nailed.
Well, Tom, he knows if he does that, they're not going to try it because they know if they hit him, they're going to get like a flag and probably kicked out of the game. That's why he does.
I mean, that is the one tough thing, right? If you're going to do that, you are definitely running the risk of getting tossed to the game.
I'm not saying like Tom to do that, but if you were going to purposely do that, it ain't hard. You get a nickel in there that is like a special teams guy, and you tell him, hey, go hit him. I don't care if he throws that ball in 2 seconds. You just drill him, and take the flag, get kicked out of the game. We're done. Good. You did your job. Let them know we ain't doing this. We ain't doing it.
Think of it. You know who always gets after him?
Who?
Crosby, because Crosby's the guy that plays on the edge like that.
Yeah, true.
Seriously, that's what you got to do. You have to just keep hitting him after the play.
And I think
until they throw a flag.
And I want
because you know what? And that's where the Raiders have beaten them because of that.
I actually think Stroud did really well this year, considering all the injuries. Everybody's got to relax. They were saying he regressed, but my thing is, it's like okay, we're going to talk about the Commanders in a minute. Jaden Daniels is doing great. I think he's great, just like Stroud is. But my point is, people are going to have an off season now. We'll see if he can come back next year and have this same effect. Okay, they do. They prepare for you different when they know you. They're like, okay, now we're going to adjust. Yeah. Will you adjust that?
Well,
does everyone remember RG? Does everyone remember
one of the beat?
Does everyone remember when RG3 had his year? They came back and they fit. Yeah. You know, it happens. You gotta keep changing it up. I think both of them are going to be great. I want to make that clear, because I think they will make the adjustments. But I'm saying, we always do that. We act like someone's terrible now, and they had, like Tom said, terrible injury luck this year. It wasn't their year. Their defense, though, it made good.
Josh, it's just Stroud's like Love, right? They're both very similar in terms of their progression is not going to be linear, right?
No.
And I think they had to be tough this year. They both battled injuries for themselves. Also, their Packers not so much on the Packers side of the team. They're pretty relatively healthy, but also every year's different.
Yeah, true.
Like once you get success, dude, people want to start getting paid. And, the team just changes. It's weird. And, you brought, Stephon Diggs in that locker room, which is really interesting. And I think it worked out okay, but you never know. It's just, I think the dynamic every year is different. So that's all I can say. And, that's why progress sometimes isn't linear.
No, I agree.
But yeah,
I think. Can I say something else?
It sucks. The takeaway from that game is.
Well, I don't want to take.
We're talking about Mahomes and his nonsense, and it's not. Hey, the Chiefs are still figuring out how to win these games.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I still, even though that happened, and I do think it helped, but I think inevitably they would have beat them. I mean, they're just healthier. They execute in big moments, but. It's like Kelsey showed up. I mean, they didn't really cover him, but Kelsey showed up. I mean, catches the ball. That's important. But that is not a shot at Mark Andrews, by the way. We'll get into that later. I'm just saying in general, that's true. You catch the ball, that's good. I'm not saying that. I will get into that. I'm going to defend that man. But I'm saying, I'm just making a general statement. He does. He's made a lot of plays. I love how to use Worthy because they understand like he's not quite there as a receiver yet. So we use him for like pitches and stuff, and he does a great job. He's like a little change-up. Pacheco's getting healthier. He still looks a little dinged up, though. He's not running the same like he normally does. But then Kareem Hunt, I mean, that dude, no one talks about this. I know he got suspended for a while, but, man, he is just consistently a solid player. He really is solid. He's just solid, man. He's a good player. I mean, Kareem's a good player, man. And then, DeAndre's going to make catches for you. Is he the same player he was? No, but he's clutch. The one that scares me for them, because you saw it in that game, I love Marquise Brown. I get why you got him. He's like your new MVS, but his hands sometimes, he's either boom or bust. He'll catch. It's the same guy. He'll catch the ball, but here's the thing. The thing I'll give MVS is he has clutch moments. He's made plays, and B, he's a lot taller. He's got a smaller version, and he drops some passes. He really does.
Yeah.
Marquise is good when he makes it. Hollywood's good when he catches it. Sometimes, though, man, my man, it's like it last week. Had that deep throw, couldn't hold on to it. He's okay. It's not bad. I mean, we'll see. I think he's an upgrade over the people they had playing. The guy who scares me on that team, that white dude Watson, always makes like the tough catches for him, and it's just random. He'll have like one touchdown catch just in it. It's like around the red zone. That's their guy. They like to put him in because he's tall. He just finds a way. I don't know. Just keep an eye out for him. He's annoying. Again, like Tom, I'm rooting for Buffalo because whoever won out of them and the Ravens, I was going to root for because those two dudes play their ass off. The teams are tough. I want them to win. Oh, the teams too in general. They have good guys. Hey, rooting for them. Kansas City, if you win, respect. But like Tom said, the overrun and views this because it's just ridiculous. you guys got to do something about him running around. Like Tom said, these other quarterbacks who are just as good get none of these calls. Jaden Daniels got freaking slammed out of bounds last game. Hey, we're going to talk about that game, and they were just like, oh well, it's he's a rookie.
Let's go into the
yeah. We're going already in there.
One of the
Commanders
that was a big surprise
at the Lions. They win 45-31. Tom, you want to go first? Go ahead. I'll let you go. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is where, like, again, you talk about it's a one-game playoff. It's just, sometimes, the Lions, they played to win the game week 18. They got a week off, right?
Uh-huh.
They almost looked a little slow.
Yeah.
It almost seems like rest didn't help him. Honestly, Aaron Glenn, I don't know what he was doing as a play caller. You can't blitz like that against that team. They're too fast. I mean, home field advantage is actually a detriment to him in this game because I think it was such a fast track. I think the Lions were just caught by surprise. But honestly, that's not what really lost in the game. What lost in the game is you can't. Jared Goff turned the ball over like he's done in prior playoffs.
Yep.
Killed him.
Yep. No, 100%. That pick 6 was terrible. I don't know what he was doing. He.
Oh, it was that. It was the fumble early on. That was terrible.
I will say Ben Johnson though, when you were down too, I don't get the play call. Now Jameson Williams, you need to throw the ball away, but you're putting the ball in the hands of a receiver. I think everyone's seen that famous clip.
He made that electric play. That was a great play call by Ben Johnson when they had
the reverse
Bridgewater in there. It's like, who cares? Just let's run this reverse, and the Commanders weren't expecting it. You got the Commanders, man. They played loose. They look like the Packers last year. They're playing with house money. No one expected them to be here, and they're here.
Defense is playing really well. Number 4 I don't want to mess up his name. Number 4 really he flies around.
Lulu's really good. Yeah. He was a guy I wanted Green Bay to target. I just don't think they could afford
to
pay
you know what
him and McKinney and all those.
You know what I love with how they structured their team though? They have veterans and young guys. It's really, really good. I love Bobby Wagner. Great signing.
What you mean, like what the Packers should have done?
Yeah.
Actually put some veteran leadership on the team so they don't. When they get into these weird slides, like people step up. There's a concept. Anyway, sorry, still a little bitter.
No, I understand. Believe me, that's me this week, bro. I understand.
Dude, Jaden Daniels is legit.
He is.
He's got a better arm than like Lamar. But what's really cool, he's not as shifty, but man, dude, he's got.
He's for how little he is, he's tough. He is tough. You think you're gonna nail him, and then he just breaks like 2 tackles, and it's like, damn, okay.
Yeah, I think what's really underrated about him is Brian Robertson and Eckler.
Robinson's a hammer. He's a hammer, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now: Philly's gonna have their hands full.
No, I agree. Well, here's what's hilarious. If you watch,
Philly is so reliant on Saquon at this point.
Well,
I think Hurts is honestly, his shelf life is probably coming up in the NFL because he can't throw.
No,
he's a dynamic player, but
not the best.
Anyways, dude, it sucks for Detroit, because they're the second team ever. I think Green Bay did it when they went 15-1 to lose in the divisional round. That sucks.
Yeah.
It goes to show you, though. We said it last year. You don't know how many opportunities you get. And that NFC title game against San Francisco was a killer.
Yeah.
And honestly, that might be their only shot. Yeah. Because now you got to start paying people. I truly think Detroit needs to figure out their quarterback situation.
Yeah,
I think they need someone a little bit more dynamic.
Great.
Really honest. But also now they've lost Ben Johnson. They're probably going to lose Aaron Glenn.
Yep.
They're in a year of transition now.
And I can tell you as a Ravens fan, that takes a while. Our defense was a mess. We lost people. We lost our coordinator. Yep. We were a mess the first, 10 games of the year? It takes a while. Here's the thing I want to see from Detroit.
And it still wasn't even,
Are you going to handle it?
Again, it doesn't matter in the playoffs. sometimes it's the luck of the draw, and that kind of what happened. That was the worst case scenario for them. I think they would have rather played Green Bay again.
Well, no, you're right though. It's also it's one we talked about. It's one game. I mean, if you come out flat or throw like Gary Goff, just have a bad game. You pick the wrong time to have your bad game. You're not winning. I mean,
common theme this week was teams that lost the turnover battle lost.
Well, what's the first thing that they tell you to look for to know? Like, if you haven't seen the game and you just don't know the score or anything, if turnovers 0 to anything, you're going to favor the team that has more than one.
Yep.
Every time. You're going to think they won. Don't matter how the yardage looks. You don't look at anything else. It's like, 3-0, 2-0. They're probably going to win because you're giving them extra possessions. It's just the time. Because even if they don't score, they're running clock too. So now it's a shorter game, and you're making it closer. It's crazy.
It's all about getting extra possessions, man. That's all it is.
Nope.
It's the probability of scoring.
And
it just goes up.
And we're gonna get into the next game, but Washington, love the way they play on offense. I'm not trying to help out the Eagles, but on fourth down, Jaden loves to go to Ertz and in the red zone. He clutch and catches the ball every time. That he because some of them throws, I'm like, that is really tight. And great throws, but some guys can't catch them. And that dude, oh my God, him and McLaurin every time, man. He'll just make some big-time catch. That's another thing. We always talk about, and I'm not saying he's the best receiver in the league, but he don't get enough credit. McLaurin's definitely top 10, top 5. That dude, big moments, he makes the catches. I'm tired of putting people in these spots because of stats. Big moments, he makes the catches. That's what you need. I don't care. I don't care about all the other crap. Terry McLaurin this year, every time they red zone, third down, fourth down, big first down they need, catches the ball, big time. And okay, I'm doing this because I love the Sun God, but dude, let it go. You were drafted, you're really good. This crap where you're like, oh, they got one of them guys on their team that was drafted ahead of me. Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, but what I can't stand though, everyone's like, he had more yards than him in that game. Okay, St. Brown, yeah, he had garbage yards. The one guy played well, Damani Brown. He made the plays when the game mattered to get the lead. So I won't hear that. He played better than him in that game. You're still better than him. But what was that about? You got drafted. You like the team you're on. Did you want to get drafted higher to a team that probably could have maybe ruined your career because they weren't as good? I mean, I don't get people with that. Let it go. It's okay. It's okay.
It needs something to play for. When you're getting paid all that money sometimes.
Bro, you're in the NFL. I don't want to hear that shit. They paying you enough money to play.
But
God damn.
Let's move to Sunday.
I'm like, come on, bro. Let it go. Let it fucking go.
Let's so
dude's a great player. I just don't get I don't get it. Whatever. I don't know. Still love you, buddy. Still one of my favorite receivers. I'm not hating. That's my boy. I'm just sad for Detroit. Detroit's okay. He'll be back. I mean, like Tom said though, this is your transition year.
The NFC North threw a stinker. 0 for 3. They played the AFC South, which is dumpster fire, and to spot everybody 4 wins. I just think, I think it's really interesting. The quarterback, you talk about who's the best quarterback in the division. I don't know, man. In those playoffs, they all were pretty bad. You kind of go back to the drawing board of then when you talk about future potential.
No, but what was cool is I like that.
Say Jordan Love.
I like that. Washington kind of they messed with Detroit in the fact that they were like, we're going to go for it on fourth down. We're going to do your game and do the same thing you do and keep the ball and just piss you off. We're going to keep getting first.
That's what's really I mean. The thing is, they have plays. I mean, the Mariota thing wouldn't have worked if Brian Robertson wasn't dry humping him.
Yeah, if he did, he thought he was going to do the tush push, and it's like he looked at him like, "Bro, we're pitching it to Jaden. What are you doing? You're in the way." Dude,
they were trying to run triple option. But yeah, I mean, that was the only thing that really stopped them, which is crazy. So, but let's move on. I thought this was. Sunday had the best games.
Yeah. So we had the Rams at the Eagles.
Was kind of over. You're in third quarter. I think they're going to pull this one out.
Rams lost 22-28. No. You said that. I said we'll see. I said this game wasn't over because I saw the math. I didn't think it was over.
I thought it was over. Detroit looked like they were just like shell shocked.
Oh, Detroit. Oh yeah. No, I thought you were talking about this game.
I was talking about Sunday. Sunday had the best slate of games in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, that ending for this one, the Eagles
at the with Philly and
Rams.
Yeah. LA. I mean,
Rams at the Eagles.
I think Philly got lucky.
Yes.
With it snowing.
Yes.
And that's a common theme too. You see all these teams in the NFL wanting to go to domes.
No.
In the playoffs. No. This is where it's huge. Look at Matt Stafford. He was fumbling the ball, handing it off. He could,
drop passes, everything. Puka Nacua dropped he made that great catch at the end, but he dropped 3 balls, man. It was rough because it's cold and that ball is heavy and it's a mess.
Yeah, and I don't think it was the cold more, it's just slick.
Slick, yeah.
And, I mean, it was a perfect storm for Saquon to be able to
run all over him, yeah.
Again, he's a beast.
Beast too, yeah. No doubt.
I don't know if that's going to be enough this week because, last time the Commanders and the Eagles met, and the Commanders won, they put up dang near 40. So I'm sure it won't be like that again, but
did you see the weather? Tom, did you see the weather?
40. They're going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball.
Tom, did you see the weather?
They're going to take a play out of they're going to look at what Jeff Hashley did against Hurts, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to shut that. We're going to do our best to contain Barkley and Jalen Hurts. We're going to make you beat us with your arms.
It's going to be 40.
And that's been their bugaboo all year. They can't. I truly don't think. I think Jalen Hurts has regressed in the NFL. I think that's why they struggled last year. The reason why they're winning this year is because they have a generational running back on their roster that can take the burden away.
No, true.
But they didn't think they had who they had last year. DeAndre, I don't even remember. Dude,
Swift,
it's just,
right?
When you have that talent versus, look, AJ Brown. That man doesn't get along with Hurts, and I mean he's sitting there reading books on the sideline. Dude, something's wrong in that locker room. That's all I'm gonna say. It's weird.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it, and just nobody's saying anything about it.
No, I agree. I think I love that Saquon, Derrick Henry, and all these running backs are like the renaissance of the running. I love running backs. Tom knows that. Running game, baby. Get them. Anyway, the Rams, I agree. If it was nice weather, I feel like they would have won this game. Stafford, I know he made mistakes, but still a gamer. At the end, it was getting a little sketchy. By the way, Philadelphia, your kicker's kind of scary. That man was about to lose you this game because he literally missed an extra point. If they would have scored, they would have been up. It was, and LA did great.
Elliott's been a problem all year for him.
LA's did a great job.
That's not. I think Philly's pretty much tired of him, but yeah, I mean. Dude, look, that game was incredible. It was fun to watch because playoff weather.
Snow weather.
Dude doesn't like a little snow, but then, dude, I mean, both teams are trading blows. I mean, dude, the Rams' defense, they have retooled it. They do such a good job in their scouting department.
They do.
The past few years of finding these guys when they had no draft picks, and then they go get a good draft pick, and who did they get?
Well, wait
a
minute.
Jared Verse.
Wait a minute, dude. The guy that got hurt in that game that hurt them though on the line, Fisk got hurt, and he was really good too this year. He was. The white dude, he was really good. He got hurt, and then they didn't have that inside pass rush.
Oh, yeah, 97.
He had a really good game.
Dude, that defense is no joke.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy how they figured out, hey, we don't have Aaron Donald anymore. We're just going to try to replicate him with as many players as we can. And dude, Jared Verse is incredible. That's all I can say, dude. He is fun to watch. And I love that he was just like, I hate Philly fans because I hate Philly fans.
I don't like them either, Sorry, guys.
No offense to any of our listeners, but Philly fans are just...
Y'all fair weather. Every time your team... It's good to play in Philadelphia, though, because if you get them down, they'll help you. They will trade on their team so fast. That's how they are. No offense, guys.
Yeah, dude,
but that's what y'all do. Y'all be on their ass so quick.
They ran out a future Hall of Famer, Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Maybe not a Hall of Famer, but
really good player.
Was a very good quarterback for them for a long time. And they ran his ass out of town. They ran also Andy Reid. Even though, I'll say this with coaches, if you haven't won a championship in 7 years with a franchise, it's probably time you need to go because you ain't going to win one.
No, true. Yeah. No, not true.
That's just how the odds kind of work, so... But
I thought
it was a fun game, man. But like looking ahead, I think it's going to be a really physical game and a tough game in the NFC title game. It's a division foes, and it'll be fun.
I agree with Tom, though, too.
I think Washington has kind of an edge, but we'll find out. They're a young team, and
maybe they're
this
too
is
big
the big
for them.
light.
Yeah, but remember we were talking about they have veterans on that team. It's not Dan Quinn's been there, Bobby Wagner's been there. They got a lot of guys that Bobby's going to have them ready, man. That's a guy. The only reason I'm bringing up Bobby Wagner is he's a future Hall of Famer. Guy's great, and he's done his.
We should do an episode in the off season, but I was talking to a few fans down here and in Atlanta, and they said, this is actually a really interesting discussion point that Julio may be one of the top 3 receivers of all time, but Atlanta ruined him. And just just kind of how it tarnished his legacy too. They couldn't finish that Super Bowl, and I'm like, that is actually a really interesting concept to go into because I think it's very plausible. But this is cool because it's kind of a Dan Quinn redemption arc. Honestly, and I think a lot of it is Atlanta. I'll be honest with you, I just wonder if it's Atlanta, such a snake-bitten franchise.
True.
Hey. It's cool, man. It'd also be a Super Bowl rematch too if the Bills somehow win it. That'd be kind of fun.
Yes. Oh, dude, that'd be sick. No, that's my dream one because that would just be fun. Because then someone's winning a Super Bowl hasn't won in a while, and then it's kind of fun, hey.
All right, let's go to.
Also, want to say we're about to go to this next game, the one that I want to talk about. Home field advantage is important. And these last 2 games show you that. The Sunday games definitely show you that because before it was those 2. Thanks a lot. Thanks for loading slow screen. You just made me click the same game we were on. That's wonderful. Please load better. Okay, but no, the Ravens lost 25-27 in Buffalo. The Bills win the game. Tom, you want me to go first?
Let me go first. I'll let you go when you go.
Go ahead.
Just go long.
Go for it, bro. Go for it. I'm in this game.
Number 1, it's tough to play up there.
I lived in the Western they're 9-0 this year. 9-0.
Dude, it's cold. That ball's slick. It's different. Okay.
Windy too. Buffalo's windy. It's not just cold.
But you saw those. Buffalo did enough to win, and they didn't turn the ball over. I'm going to give you a really hot take.
Good.
And I'll let you defend it. I just doing a hot take. Go look at Lamar's playoff record. I know it's a team sport. I don't want to blame all the quarterback, but he beat Ryan Tannehill in 2020 or 2021.
Okay.
He's beaten a poop Russell Wilson. And then they beat C.J. Stroud last year.
Okay.
Right? He's incredible. I'm not knocking him. But in the playoffs, man, he has come up short. They had an all-worldly running back this year. I mean, and it's tough. I don't know if it's the coach, if it's the coaching or what. But I felt like this was the year that, hey, you saw Lamar learned a lot of the things from last year's championship game. He was throwing in the pocket, but he did make the pick not so much. But that fumble was bad. It's just, it's really, it's tough because, hey, in those moments, you got to make those plays. I will say this, though. Lamar's the reason they stayed in the game at the end because he made the key throws to people. Again, there's other players, too, that got to step up. Mark Andrews.
He'll be okay. I don't like the death threats, though. Leave that man alone. Everybody leave that man alone.
I mean,
Bills Mafia, thank you for paying that man.
I was very surprised the game plan the Ravens came out with.
Yeah.
And they did not establish Derrick Henry until the third quarter.
Well, how about at the goal line? They didn't
run him. Keep running that.
Yeah.
You don't need Lamar. This game is all about you wear them down.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
But
not you.
That's not on Lamar either. It's just it's very interesting. I mean, they keep getting there. He played really well all year. Even that game, he played solid. He just can't turn the ball over like that. And I think more than anything, that fumble was a killer.
Yeah.
2 fumbles, but one of them by him. So
Okay.
I will.
I don't think you're.
I will.
I don't think you're wrong about. I don't think you're wrong about Lamar. He did not play great in this game. I think sometimes he doesn't play well in these games. But I also think, going to what you're saying, I don't. I hate that we always make it a quarterback thing because of stuff like this, right? I learned this at a young age because everyone told me how good Joe Montana was, and I watched that Super Bowl against the Bengals. And, look at his stats. He did great. He roamed down the field. He threw a pick that should have lost that game. You have to watch the games. They will lie to you with stats and all this garbage if you watch the games. So the Tennessee game, we can go back to all of them. I can give you whatever. You can call them excuses if you want. They were driving on that first drive in 2019. What happens? Mark Andrews, you say it's high, whatever you want. Drops the ball, it's picked off. Momentum goes the other way. Football's a momentum game. The Ravens, in every big game, it is Lamar, but everybody. They drop passes. They make stupid penalties. They make all these mistakes. It might be a coaching thing. It's every time. It's the same thing. Like Tom's saying, you don't stick with your identity. It's wild. Now, in this game, I agree. The pick was a miscommunication, but I do think he was wrong. I think Bateman actually ran the right route because he's had single high. If you run that corner, he's got it easily. That's an easy catch on the sideline. I don't think it would have been picked if he would have ran to go, but I don't think he's catching it either because Rapp's just going to hit him. Or knock the ball out, whatever happens there. It's just wasn't the right read. The second play, we can go into all that. Lamar made mistakes. The fumble, he should have just threw it away. I know he said it was a RPO and it would have been a penalty, but just take the 5. Who cares? Just throw the ball out of bounds. It's fine. I know you're dynamic, bud, but sometimes, dude. And maybe I get it. Like, everyone will be like, and they're not wrong. Sometimes you can make a play out of that, but I'm like, dude, it don't matter. Lamar, you're safer doing that.
Okay. Tony Romo and Peyton Manning always had the best saying, like, throwaway is sometimes the best play.
I love Tony Romo, but he was egregiously bad in this broadcast. It was so annoying.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't really listen to announcers a ton, but I was just saying, like, when you talk about, hey...
But I'm going to be quick because I don't think this game has much to talk about. But to the point that Tom was making, it's a team game. I'm tired of Josh Allen did nothing in this game. It was he threw a bunch of checkdowns. It was really boring.
He did nothing.
I think physical, I think he's great. But I'm just like I think their game plan was to run the clock, and it looked smart because they said, "Hey, they're going to lose the game for themselves." I mean, and they were right.
Yep.
So hey, I mean, but
I mean, yeah.
And part of me loves.
That's what Philly did to the Packers. They said the Packers are going to kill themselves.
Part of me loves that because this is a team. Okay, love that about them, and their defense stepped up. Me and Tom, I've been talking about it all year. Tom said he finally seen what I was talking about. DeMar Hamlin. I'm not saying he's like a pro bowler, great. He is really solid, though. That dude saves so many touchdowns tackling people. He just, like, makes the tackle. And it's like, oh, well, now it's not a touchdown. It's a 5-yard gain. He's great. Because how many times do you see a safety? He's the last guy in the hole, and he whiffs, and it's an 80. Like, last week, Saquon a couple times, the guy whiffed. DeMar Hamlin, every time, he will tackle that motherfucker. And it's a 5-8-yard gain. It's like, well, no touchdown for you. He is literally a great tackler. I don't care what anyone says. I always see him tackling big dudes, little dudes. He just tackles them. Guy's really solid. I know everybody's like, oh, the nepotism fucking guy getting a play because of what happened. No, he's actually pretty solid. I see why they put him in there. They're like, he tackles everyone. He's a really solid player. He really is. The Ravens, though.
Look, I think it was a good game.
Let the Mark Andrews. Let the Mark Andrews.
Thing I'll say. I think the last hot take I want to give you.
Okay.
Is it time for the Ravens to, just like in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin, is it time for the Ravens to really start thinking like, dude, we need something different as a head coach?
I don't blame Harbaugh for this one, but I'm with you. They need a little. I wouldn't have a problem with it because they need a little, maybe a couple years. What I'm thinking they should do, you let Zach Orr coach a little bit more, and then you let him go right in there and he retires, and there's your new coach. Got the young dude.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because he got the energy of that team. Though, right? He's got the energy of that team. He really does. They love him.
The NFL is a short term. Look, it's not for long, right? And you think about this is like I was listening to Because Bob McGinn and I think Tyler Dunn, they have a podcast, and
Okay.
they were talking about, like, coaches when they, so Harbaugh won that Super Bowl in 12, right? So he came on in 2008, right?
Yeah.
For the Ravens. So what was that? That'd be 6 years. Just about the time frame you win that title, right?
Yep.
How long has it been? So 2012, 2025?
12 years.
13 years.
Well, next year it'll be officially 13 because it cuts into 2020. Yeah.
Point is, you are now past that time.
Yeah.
Right? It's past the 7-year mark where the probability of Harbaugh doing it is going to be low. And I think, like, the issue for them is it comes down to messaging, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And, like, yes, in general, he's solid, but, like, it's just tough. Like, as a head coach, he's got to really have his finger on, like, all the momentum things. I mean, even with the offensive coordinator, like, dude, run Derrick Henry. That is what
no, Tom Monken. Tom Monken
point.
does not deserve. Tom Monken's solid, but he is not a head coach, dude. He does crazy stuff like that. He's overrated. I'm sorry. He's okay. He's not.
But my point is stability's awesome. But in the NFL, things change so quickly.
Stale, yeah. Let me.
Are you at this stage now where it's like, hey, we gotta shake it up because Lamar is a guy like, dude, you gotta be able to win a championship with that dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, he's too. And I honestly don't think it's all on him. I think that they've taught. Like, I will say his playoff record, you question it, but it's not.
Okay.
It's just last year they didn't play, like, they never ran the ball. They didn't, like,
I don't see
he always keeps them in the game, right?
Well,
that's where it's like Lamar.
We were watching.
Is clutch.
We were watching Buffalo. They played the game they needed to play. They weren't worried about, we got Josh Allen, we got to throw it 40 times. They were like, well, this is working, we're going to do it. And Josh's credit, he went with it too, But it's like you complimented your quarterback, right? You were like, we don't have to do anything crazy. We're going to win this game the way we're going to win this game. Now, McDermott sometimes gets in trouble with that.
I do wonder about this. I wonder after that fumble and just how they ran some RPOs, but I really, really wonder if the ball just being slick, they decided, hey, like, running Lamar's is going to be tough, the RPO stuff, and I don't know. It doesn't matter. I personally think you're right. What you just said right there. It's all about identity.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah. And, Buffalo,
well,
their
see.
identity this year is they're tough. And they're going to do what it takes. And they're very physical. Like, they run Josh Allen well, they run the ball well.
Ed Oliver deserves credit for this game. He killed Linderbaum the whole game. And here's the other thing. I like Linderbaum, but they drag with, like, how good he is. We were missing on that fumble, too. No one's talking about it. That was a terrible snap. It was to the left and high, and somehow give Lamar credit for this. I don't know how he caught that with the weather the way it is. I'm surprised it didn't pop up in the air and go 15 yards behind him. But it's like, again, that's why you got to watch the games. They're telling you about his fumble. I'm like, did you see the snap? I mean, Jesus Christ, what was that? What are you doing? Anyway, I'm gonna finish up with this real quick. Like Tom said, Mark Andrews, everyone leave him alone. People make mistakes. It's fine. I do think the Ravens are transitioning there too. I like him, but the writing's on the wall. Likely's amazing. That guy is a monster. All that stuff we just talked about, how slick the ball was. Did you see him in that game, Tom? He caught everything. That dude has massive hands, catches everything. The guy's a monster. You gotta get him the ball.
It's true. It's true, man.
He's good. And Mark Andrews, that was. And did you see this thing, Tom? A lot of people are doing this. Chris Sims, a bunch of people. What are you talking about on that throw at the end? Catch the ball. They're like, that throw wasn't good. That's why he dropped. What? Catch the ball. What?
Exactly.
Stop.
Your hands touched to catch it.
It wasn't that bad. You know why he threw it inside? Because if he throws it wide, there's a chance you walk out of bounds by accident. He did that so he could cut up. That's all it was. What are you doing?
They screwed that play up in Pittsburgh in the regular season. Was it last year?
Yep. 2 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think Lamar was like, dude, this guy, something's up. He kind of double clutched it because he's like,
are you going to catch it?
The ball was slick. I honestly think he was like, are you sure? He was trying to aim it so perfect at Mark because Lord help Mark if it doesn't hit him in the face. It's just, it's tough, man.
And
I mean, look, players make mistakes. I mean, Mark Andrews, that's kind of the name of his career, though. Yep. He just, with clutch moments where he...
Yeah, and for this is my thing with the Lamar thing, Tom. I agree he did. People are like, all those, if he didn't have turnovers in the beginning, we wouldn't... Yeah, well, I could say about anything in this game. If Mark Andrews, when he fumbles, the fumble, they were about to go down the field, and I know, oh, you don't know that. Dude, they just converted a 2nd 11. They probably were going to score there. What if they score there? Yeah. They take the lead. Then your point of him putting them behind is done, because now they're ahead towards the end of the game. That fumble was huge.
No, I think, and that's kind of the hot take I have, is it time for the Ravens to start really thinking hard about... I just don't think John Harbaugh's the answer anymore at the head coach position. No. It's not that he's a bad coach, it's, hey...
I don't think you're wrong. My thing is, right now, how would you... They're in a tough spot because I don't blame him. How would you do that?
Question number one, who's going to come in there and change everything?
Yeah.
And the answer is, I don't know.
Now, see, when Vrabel was available, the team fit his kind of team he likes. That would have been the guy to,
Dude, that guy was going to New England.
Oh, he was. But Tom, are you going to New England or here if they had that available? I'm just saying that you're loaded. You got a quarterback too. He would have been like, even though Drake May. Love Drake May. I really do. 100%.
You know what, though? Vrabel knows the owner. And there's something to be said if he gets control. Because that's what sucked in Tennessee.
We'll talk about all that during the off-season show, too.
That was vouching for keeping A.J. Brown. Yeah. And the GM and the owner are like, just get rid of him. We don't want to pay him.
I want one last thing before we go. Because it was a nice moment. Can we stop with trying to put these guys against each other? Did you see Josh and Lamar after the game? They're buddies, man. They were so happy for each other. It's impressive.
Well, they're the same draft class,
yeah,
right?
Yep. And they both were the most doubted players in the draft. They were a quarterback. Everybody was like, I don't know about these guys, and they're both really.
They both got passed up. It's really funny.
Yeah.
And because they represent, that's the thing with Lamar, dude. He represents Baltimore and what it's about. It's Joe Flacco is a little different.
Yeah. He was quiet and kind of, boring.
Lamar is too, but Lamar just really represents Baltimore. And
he does.
He just does. And Joe did too, don't get me wrong.
No, Joe was really good. Joe was Donovan McNabb. He was.
Joe got him to this era, right, where I think people started believing, hey, Baltimore can be an offensive city.
Yeah.
It's built on defense, but... They can be.
Oh, nothing's ever going to beat the Ed Reed, Ray Lewis days, though. And Suggs. That was fun. And Dada. And, they were so fun. They're so fun, man.
That game was fun to cap off the night. I mean, like I said, another heartbreaking
Dude, honestly, though, this didn't hurt me as much as last year hurt me because you were going to be there. And like you said, that team was overall just killing it. They were loaded. It was like the Lions from this year, but without injuries. Okay, we were pretty healthy. I'm like, how did we... It's like you had... When the guy on the other team says after the Super Bowl, after they beat the 49ers, oh, we knew when we beat the Ravens, we beat the best team, so we were fine. Chris Jones, I was like, damn. I was like, that's sad. He said, y'all were better than us, but we beat you, so we good. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
yeah.
But my last point, my last thing is it's going to be awesome this weekend. Everyone enjoy it. I am. I know we lost, but hey, like Tom said, your team's going to come back. Most of the Ravens are coming back. It ain't like last year. The loss last year hurt because most of this team was going to change. I knew Geno Stone was probably gone. I knew Patrick Queen. I know Raven fans try to act like he ain't good. He's still really good. He left. This year, we got a lot of guys coming back. Our Washington, who played great this year, is a restricted free agent, so he's probably coming back. Ronnie Stanley, you're going to be able to afford him because Marcus Williams' cap is huge, and you're going to get all that money back. You got plenty of money you need 4 guys to re-sign. I'm not going to name them. You know who they are. Sign them back. Get new guys. Maybe pick up a corner, another lineman. You're good. You got a good team. Run it back. Henry's back. You're fine. And this draft's loaded with running backs. Get a running back in the draft for a backup runner. Because I don't know about Keaton. They weren't trying him. I don't know if it takes 2 years for you to come back from that, but it doesn't look like he's the same right now. We'll see what happens. Even though he did really good on kick return, can't lie. But anyway, we'll see. Next week's going to be fun. We'll be right back to tell you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Likes are always appreciated. Subscribe for more content. And as always, Tom.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Anchor down.
Anchor down.